2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Tonight I am actually talking to someone who's on the other side of the world, Merlina Marcan, who is, I would consider, the foremost authority on orbs. I have done a number of orb presentations, which people have tuned in on. And Merlina and I will get into this. She has hundreds of thousands of photographs. This is her book for people. And I've got the book here, and my favorite page, I'm going to show you my favorite page here, because my assistant Desta and I got into doing orb photographs, and we tracked down a lot of the people in the world who have, a lot of people have huge collections, but this is my favorite sort of one. This is the with the colors, because what had happened when we started to test the orb thing, trying to get photographs and stuff, Desta was able to get a lot better photographs than I was. And she was able to get colors. I was never able to get colors on my photographs. So I'm very interested in the color thing, and we're going to get some explanations from Marlena as to how she does this and her background. So Marlena, welcome, and thank you for taking your time to join me today to talk about orbs, which I will say to people, I've been in this since 1975, and I've said numerous times that I think when it comes down to proof, photographs will tell you that something is real. And a lot of people that I know that take photographs, UFO photographs, will put down the orb photographs. But I will maintain right now that if you're ever going to prove anything with photographs, it's going to be orbs, because you can get them and you can analyze them, because UFO photographs are nothing but orbs in the sky. And so people will sort of promote their UFO photographs as being better than orb photographs. I think this is a very important subject, and that's why I've done 3 panels. And that's why I'm so happy to have you as the expert to come on here and explain to me what you've done over the years. And so let's go from the beginning. Describe where you are, where you live, and how you got into orbs, and how this process began. How did you get dragged into this field?
Well, first of all, hello, Grant, all the way from Australia.
Beautiful.
It's our interview, like we talked about doing an interview like 5 months ago.
Yes.
And never got around to it due to COVID and due to a lot of other things that happened. And I'm really glad to be able, at this very moment, to be able to talk to you after 5 months of, yes.
Beautiful.
Now,
I was aware of your work, so I knew what you were doing, and I was fascinated to see, especially someone who has got as vast a collection as you have. To me, that's extremely important. That's not just somebody who spent 5 minutes and, you know, talking off the top of their head. So yeah, go ahead.
It is 10 years, but I still do not consider myself an expert, because every single day that goes by, every week, every month, I'm still learning. And there's just so much to learn. So I would say I am a student, really, of this new type of energy fields that are appearing in our cameras, far from being an expert yet. No.
And but how many years
and
have
I
you
have
done?
been researching now. Yeah. Oh, over 10 years. Wow. Over 10 years. Wow. And it's 10 years of my own personal research. I believe I've been guided. I keep saying this all the time, which I've written about in the book. It's something that didn't happen overnight. I didn't stumble on it just like from 1 minute to the next. It's something that happened over a process of time. It just expanded, and it grew and it grew and it grew to where I am today, talking to you about my work. And one thing I want to say is that what we are going to see today, some of the photos that we are going to see that I've analyzed, I believe it is, well, I just don't believe, I know it's a world first of actually systematically going inside orbs and seeing the heads that we will see.
Okay. Beautiful. And so you worked on this, and you came up with some sort of technique without getting into details. Describe the fact that you're not just sort of like looking at photographs and sort of seeing, because you'll hear, as you mentioned, a lot of people say, well, I think I see a face, and then you look at it and you go, you know, in fact, that's one of the clues is everybody thinks they see faces in the orbs, but you actually have a technique where you can actually film it and break it down. So go a little bit about that.
I have discovered a simple method or a process. Doesn't take very long. I could show it to a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, and they'd be able to do it. And it's a 4-5-step method that I can actually go inside an orb. And it's like I said, when with microbiology and organisms and that, which we see under the microscope, you just don't see it like that. You have to prepare it. You have to stain it. You put it under the microscope and watch it through the lens, so you can define and to see what is inside. So there is a little procedure that you do to be able to see what's in the cell. Now, I've got a little procedure that I do to see what's inside an orb. And I've called it the MFT method, which are the acronyms for Merlina Focus Technique.
Okay.
And it is so simple that once my work is scientifically tested, and that's what I'm aiming for, the whole world will know how to do it, because it just cannot be debunked. Because if you debunk the Orb MFT method, then you will have to debunk microbiology, microscopy, and everything else.
Do you have a background in microbiology and stuff like that? Or what's your background?
Yes.
Okay.
In the 70s, I'm a fully qualified pathology technician.
Wow.
And yeah, at the Institute of Technology in Sydney in the 70s. But I did it because my parents wanted me to do like some sort of a medical career.
Okay.
I did it to make them happy, but I stopped my medical career to take on the challenge of entertaining, singing.
Oh.
So I've done a lot of things. Yeah. Wow. I was an entertainer for like over 20 years.
Fascinating. I wrote a book on music.
But you know, I had to go through, I think I've been, I had to go through what I went through. I had to live what I lived through, good and bad, to get to where I am today. As I said, it just didn't happen like that. But I do have a pathology background, yes, absolutely.
Did you get any help in terms of the technique? Because you'll hear about synchronicities and stuff like that. Do you think you got help in terms of someone helping you to develop this technique, or did it come from your background?
I really believe with all my heart and all my soul, I did get help from the higher divine, from celestial beings, from my guardian angel, from my angel, from what is up there. I don't think I could have done it by myself. And as I write in the book, I get this tingling effect every time I do an orb, or I go beyond my process, and I think, well, I'll try this and I'll do this, and I get this tingling effect, and that's confirmation for me that yes, I'm on the right track.
Now the people.
It's.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, go on. Go on. Yes.
Yeah. No. I've when I started. Let me ask you the same question. When I started, I got a lot of people who came to me. I have one girl, Annetta from Macedonia, who's got a fairly big career and stuff like that there, and Teresa, you know, from the United States. A number of people. How did you find the people with the orb photos? Because that's what I found, is that you'll find these people with collections that have thousands of orb photographs that they've taken. How did you find your people that you used in the book?
Well, after so many years and being on Facebook, because I show my work on Facebook. I do at least one orb that I analyze Well, I try to at least one orb a week. And you find that people send me orbs from all around the world. I do, if I see that it's a high definition orb, I will go into it. I will analyze it as best as I can. It's when I started on doing the orb research, I was being mocked. People were saying, "Oh, that's pareidolia. You know, you're wasting your time."
Yeah.
And I never gave up.
Yeah.
I stuck to it. I kept to it. I kept getting this tingling sensation. I knew I was onto something. And I stopped just analyzing my own orbs. I started to analyze orbs that people were sending me. And again, I say I have not taken 1 cent, not $1 from anybody. I do this because I truly believe in it. And all the orbs that I have analyzed and I have researched is because I truly believe in what I am doing. And I get people saying to me, "Marlena, how much do you want to analyze my orbs?" I don't want money. I just want a good high definition orb so I can go into it. And that to me is my reward. That to me is more than money when I show the results.
Your book is absolutely fascinating. People who have not seen the book, it's all color photographs. It's all high definition photography. Must have cost you an awful lot of money to put the book out. The title of the book is The New Macrocosmic World of Order. What do you mean by that title?
Well, we're talking about, I called it the macrocosmic because it's similar but different from the microscopic worlds. Microscopic, and it came to me, it's macrocosmic. And when I called it, it's the new macrocosmic world of order. There is a regime. There is a certain distinct pattern that once I started to analyze the orbs, I could see that there were certain characteristics, there were certain traits, and I started to put them into groups. And now I know that when I see an orb, 90% of the time I can tell whether it's an alien orb, an extraterrestrial orb, or a spiritual orb, which are the afterlife orbs. Now, a lot of people think they're the same. No, they're not. They're completely different on the exterior and completely different when I go into them in the interior. And which I explained. And people that follow me on Facebook, and they know when I say it's a transcendent module 1 orb, which is the extraterrestrial, or a transcendent module 2 orb, which are the spiritual. But today I'm going to add a few photos for the benefit of people that don't really know that much about orbs. And as I said, when we go into them, people will have to start to think outside the box. We have to start to recalibrate, reset, review, renew whatever is inside the box, because things are not as we've been taught that they are. There are so many things out there that we just do not know, Grant.
Right. I agree. Well,
but a picture paints 1,000 words.
It does.
Sorry, a picture paints 1,000 words. And every single thing I say, it's just not like I pulled a rabbit out of a hat. Every single thing I say, I have proof. I have images. I have pictures. Yeah.
You have very detailed close-up stuff. You can see what you're doing. Have you seen the reaction change over the years in terms of more people sort of believing that there's maybe something to this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things is that people are becoming more awakened every year that goes by, I can see that there is an awakening, a consciousness that's coming to Earth, and more people are opening up. And you know, as George Bernard Shaw once said, that all great truths begin as blasphemies. So something that is not accepted by the masses does not mean it is not correct or it's not right. It just means it needs its time, and it will rise for people to understand and to see. And
the quote I always use is Max Planck's quote when he was bringing out quantum physics, where he got attacked, and he talked about this science advances 1 neutrino at a time. That concept where the old ideas die out, and then the young people come on and they take it. It takes a while for minds to change, but
it does. It does. And again, here's another quote from Plato, the Greek philosopher. He actually said that no one is more hated than the one who speaks the truth, or the one who shows the truth. So, you know, eventually things are opening up. The cosmos is opening up to us, and truth will prevail. I don't know. Will it be in this lifetime? I hope so. But if it's not this lifetime, it will be later on.
I really appreciate the work you've done. I mean, all you can really do is do what you can. That, say, if you believe you're on a mission, that you've been given something to do, you can only do the best you can, put it out there. You can't really make other things happen. You just do what you can. I really appreciate the fact that you've done a lot of work, and people will see it in this book, and we'll see it from your photographs. So let's go to the photographs right now. You can take over the screen and go to your PowerPoint presentation, and we'll go through the photos.
Yes, there's a lot of photos to do. There's like around 60 of them. But anyway, I just want to say what orbs are.
Okay.
So before we start to see them. So orbs are really energy fields with consciousness. They have conscious intentions that are coming from other realities, from other dimensions.
Okay.
So in other words, what I really want people to understand is that they are energy fields of a living form, a living substance, or a living matter that is coming to us from other realities. And they want us to see them, because if they did not want us to see them with our digital cameras and with all our equipment, we would never be able to see them. So
why now? Why
consciously are sending us.
Sorry, why are we getting this now?
We're not getting it now. We've been getting it since forever.
Okay.
It's just that as technology improves, we get to see more.
Okay.
And now that you mention that, I think we'll just go into.
Yeah, because your first photograph shows that this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah, let me go into slideshow.
First, open the share screen on the bottom. Open, because they're still on. Share your screen first so we can see your desktop.
All right, let me just.
On the bottom of the Zoom thing, there should be a share screen there. The yellow.
Yes, I see it now. Okay. Share screen. Yes. And then what do I press? I press share.
And then share.
No.
And your desktop should come up. And then you just open your PowerPoint. There we go. It's coming up now.
Okay. I can't see it. Oh, yes, I know. It's got internet connection is unstable. Can you see it?
It's coming now. I got your desktop now, yep. Now just open the PowerPoint and we're ready to go.
Slideshow. Okay, let's go to the slideshow. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Stop.
I see your desktop, so you got to open the PowerPoint first. Is it on your screen?
Yes, it's on my screen,
Oh.
and it's got.
Oh, here it is now. Okay, so now just go to
You are
slideshow. I see it, but you got to go to the slideshow for the big view. Slideshow and then full screen
Okay.
or whatever it is. First one.
Full screen. Oh,
Under slideshow.
okay. Full screen. I'm. Can you? Is it okay now?
No, you're still in the you're still in the building mode. Slideshow up at the top, beside tools. Beside tools, there the red little file folder things on the top there. You got tools, and then you got slideshow up above. Go straight up there.
Yeah, I've got. I pressed on slideshow.
The up above where you are there. Go up to the red, the little bars up top. No, up top, way up on the very top of the screen. Slideshow up there, higher.
Ah, yes.
There, okay, okay. Now.
Yeah, okay. Play from start. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it now.
Okay, and we'll be ready to go.
And this is okay. And this is what I want to say. Like a lot of people say to me, "Oh, you Photoshop the images and you've done this." I don't even know how to use a computer properly. I mean, let alone
hey,
Photoshop all this stuff.
You just proved it. That's good. So, that's excellent. So this is from the 1920s.
Yeah, I found this on the internet. So cameras have evolved from many generations of, photographic technology, such as the dry plates, the well-known older film cameras, to our modern day digital cameras. And as I said before, as camera technology improves, we get to see more visible worlds around us, and we can visually witness other realities, something that we couldn't do with the older technology. So to answer your question before, why are we seeing orbs more now? It's only because we've got better technology, because they have been around us forever. And to get into this photo here, in the 1920s or 30s, this photograph contains what is believed to be a true orb. And people were not really capturing orbs with film cameras. It wasn't very common, but that doesn't mean that it was impossible. People were every now and then catching orbs or mists or these unusual type images, but they just didn't know that they captured an orb, because they did not even know that an orb existed. And this is a good example of a moving orb. All right, let's go to the next one. Next slide. So I just added this. Has anything really changed from the 1920s, which is the film, the moving orb, to the 21st century digital camera, the moving orb? Nothing's really changed. The only thing that's really changed is that from something that was quite rare and not very clear to the 21st century technology, it's just we are seeing it more often, it's more common, and images, the definition is much, much better.
Can I ask a question?
But these energies have been around. Yes.
You get groups of people who are taking orb photographs. Do most of the people eventually have these? I call them like the beamed ones, where the orb is moving. is it a progression where you start with orbs and then you start getting the ones that you show on the right hand side? Because I noticed that a lot of people start getting them later on, that the photo, I guess what I should say is the photos get more complex the more orb photographs that people I've seen take. Or is this a very common type photograph?
Well, when we say an orb, you know, there are the most common orbs, which are the just the round orbs. But there is a whole display of different orbs, different colors, different textures, different sizes, different shapes. And they can shapeshift. They can travel faster than the speed of light, if there is such a thing as faster than the speed of light, which I believe there probably is. But then don't forget that orbs are light themselves. They are light energies. So they have the ability to travel as fast as light. And this image here, I can use my, yes, I can use this. Can you see my cursor, or am I just watching it?
Sort of, yeah, I can sort of see it. Yeah. It's on the orb now, yeah.
The arrow.
Yeah,
okay. So this particular orb, within a fraction of a second, as long as it took for the click on the camera, that's how fast. This is a fast moving orb. So that just explains within a fraction of a second how fast they can move.
Okay.
And you can take people that are more experienced with capturing orbs. You can take an orb, try and take a picture of an orb, there'll be nothing there. A second later, when you click again, you might have a whole array of them, like hundreds of them around.
Exactly.
And then you take another photo and then they're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's one of the,
they can change.
Yeah, I found that to be one of the best pieces of evidence, is that if you get them timed, you can see the one where, because people say, oh, it's dust, and you say, well, okay, why 1 second later is it completely clear? So you'll get one clear one and then one where the whole frame is filled with orbs. Second later.
Well, let me explain that, you know, there are such things as dust, of course. You know, you can go and experiment. Excuse me. And, you know, I've experimented. I've gotten the feather duster and a blanket, and I've put it in front of, like, flopped it around the camera lens. And you get these little blotches, which are dust orbs.
Yeah.
It's backscatter.
Yeah.
And you get this, like that appears, they appear like these little round spots or dots or something on the camera. And that is camera contamination. But when you get a real, true, authentic orb, you know. Just move on to the next one. Okay, I had to put this in, Grant, because this to me is like a legacy for me, this quote. And this is from Buckminster Fuller, who was an American architect, an inventor, and a futurist. And he stated that you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, you have to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So if you want people to take you seriously, you have to prove, you have to make a model that really does make the existing model obsolete.
Beautiful.
And I believe I have done this. I truly believe I have done this, and we will see in the next few photos. Well, just give me a minute. I'm getting that little. Oh, now what? I'm getting that little, and it's not going anywhere. I wonder if I can manually change the. press something here. I hope I don't lose it. No. My arrow is not working.
Your down arrow, or your down?
I'm getting this trying to connect. I'm pressing on the arrow, but what would I press on the screen to go to the next
Slide. There should be on PowerPoint, there should be, even your down arrow on your keyboard should move it down. Or the bottom left-hand corner there. No. So I'm not familiar with Macs. You usually just use the down key.
I'm doing that now. I'm pressing the arrow. Nothing's happening.
Maybe close the PowerPoint, open it up again.
As I said, we're having problems with Wi-Fi and internet here.
Because the photos are coming through and your voice is coming through well.
Oh, no. And I can't, no, it's not, it's.
Okay. Maybe stop share screen and I'll pull it up. I think I have the PowerPoint. I'll pull it up on mine and you can tell me when to advance the slide. I'll open my PowerPoint.
I think that would be easier.
Okay, so just stop sharing your screen.
Okay, I stop sharing. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to share it here. PowerPoint. Here we go. And then I'll just go to the slide. Can you see my screen?
I can see the PowerPoint now. I can, yes, now
okay.
I can.
Okay, there's your slide. Okay, go ahead.
All right, okay. So it's better that you're doing this rather than me.
Good.
All right, so what I want to say is for the last 10 years, I have been a citizen researcher. So, and my research and my hypotheses may be challenging to some people, but they are based solely and entirely on the exclusive images that I'm capturing through my research. And I am capturing images of life that is beyond our reality. And if an object cannot be seen, this is scientific quote, if an object cannot be seen with the naked eye, but is believed to exist in a certain state that is outside of our own normal comprehension, then it is a scientific necessity to find a way to photograph it. And this is what I have done. This is what I believe my MFT method has accomplished. It's giving visual evidence, and it's a scientific necessity to find a way to photograph it on call. You know, it doesn't happen every now and then. I can get the same, if I go into an orb in 1 week's time, the same orb, or a month later, or a year later, and I go into it using my MFT method, I will get the same images.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So, and the burden of proof lies on the one who makes the claim.
Yeah. And
my MFT method is a simple process which I just cannot be dismissed as fake. And here on the left-hand side are some of the authentic images of cosmic beings inside the orb phenomenon using my MFT method. And these are real heads. These are authentic and as real as can be. All right. We'll go into the next one. The next slide. Okay. Now, as I said, orbs are cosmic capsules. They're cosmic vehicles, and they're made from, you know, different light energies, and they are coming to us from these other dimensions, these other realities. And inside an orb, there is just so much information, Grant. There is just, it's enclosed and so much data. Inside one orb, there is just so much data and so much information inside this capsule. And this orb here was sent to me. It was captured by Antonio Jimenez from Mexico. Now, I went into it, and there are many heads. There is never just one head. It's very rare to just have one head in an orb. There are literally 50, 100, 200 sentient heads in an orb. But I concentrated on this because this, to me, is, it's a real alien head. Can we go into the next photo? Okay, now you could see the orb. It's a zoom image of the orb. And I could see that there's this pink, there's a pink type of something that's in there underneath the capsule, the shield of the orb. I did my MFT method, and this is what I got. But there's never just one head. Now, if I concentrated, which I did, in the top right, the very top right orb, there's another head coming through. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a head chill. There is another head coming through. And it's not just these heads. In this particular orb, there was something like 100 heads in there. Wow. Let's go to the next one. Next slide. Again, you could see that this orb, it has an outer membrane wall, the zoom image of it. And this particular orb, I've called it a Transcendent Module 1 orb, which are the alien extra ET orbs. And they have a very distinct feature, is that they have a thick outer wall, an aura type, I call it a auric shield that protects them, because they have farther away to travel as compared to the spiritual orbs, which are closer there to the earthly sphere. They don't have that far to travel, so they don't really need this auric shield as the alien orbs do, because they have to go through different atmospheric pressures and densities through the cosmos, and they need this protection. It's like a rocket. Okay. Has to be fortified if it wants to fly to the moon, because it's got to go through all these conditions, atmospheric conditions. So it has to be fortified, and so do orbs. And you can always see, you never see a body. Never, ever, ever see a body. You might every now and then see a bit of a shoulder or a neck. Never see a body. It's like bodies are unimportant, okay, don't exist. The important thing is the heads, and they're always covered in this, especially the alien, in this white. Can we go into the next one?
That's pretty clear there. That's very good.
And here it is. Yeah. So this one, it looks like it's some sort of a helmet, which I don't believe it is a helmet. I believe it's a natural cranium shape. And I've added a picture of an alien. It's an artistic one. Someone's painted it. And I thought I'll just use it as a comparison. And this red thing that we're seeing is like a natural cranium of this particular alien head.
That's pretty clear.
Next one. Okay. Now what I've been doing, sometimes because I like painting, have a bit of an artistic flair, I like to paint some of the real images to get just a feel of what it looks like. And on the left is my painting, and on the right is the real MFT image.
Beautiful.
We'll see more of them. Yeah, we'll see more of them. Next slide. Okay, now this is an orb I captured. It's perfectly round. Now I have to say that if you see a perfectly round orb in your photo, it has stopped its motion. It's like it's posing. Oh. And as I said, if I got my camera out and I said, you know, Grant, I want to take a picture of you, you'll stop so that I can take a picture of you. And this is what orbs, when you see a perfectly round orb, it has stopped its motion. It knows it's posing. It knows it's being photographed. Wow. Now I went into this, and you could still see how the exterior, there is the cell wall, yep, the orb capsule protecting the orb. Now when I went inside, I captured this image of a female in white. We'll go into the next one and we'll have a better look. Oh yeah. Next. Now, up the top here, I've got the external membrane of the orb. So that's the external. It's protecting all the information that is inside it. Now, these are being projected to us. I'm not saying that there is a 3D female in this orb. I am saying that these are hologram images that are being projected to us so that we can see them. It's like I get my video out and I video you and then I put it on the screen. I can see you, yeah, on the screen, and people can see us on the screen right now as we talk. Yeah. But that's just an image of us. That's right. That's not the real Grant and the real Marlena. Right. So they're projections of us on the screen that they're watching, because you're in your house and I'm in my house. The real, right, you is there and the real Marlena is here. Right. So this is exactly what orbs are. So what we are seeing, we're seeing projections of their images coming to us. And you can see this one's a smiling female. Interesting. The woman in white. Yeah. Next one. We'll get a better view of it. Here is a zoom image of it. So this smiling female is inside that external membrane. It's being protected, these hologram images that are being sent to us. And the next one, I'm trying to go as fast as I can, no problem, because there's a lot of images. Yeah. Now here's another one that I did my artwork on the left, and the real MFT image on the right. And as you can see, it's a smiling female in white. And you find that, well, I find that through my 10-year research, I have a lot of sentient heads that are just looking out, smiling. It's as if they know they're being photographed. Okay, next one. Now this one was sent to me. This one was captured by Mayor Burdowski from Serbia. And this is not perfectly round. It's in a motion mode, which in my book I actually say what direction this orb is going in, depending on the aura, the external aura of the orb. There's a warm emission, warm colored emissions at the top. If you'd like to just show people the orange on the orb with your arrow. Oh no, on the original, there, up there. See the, there is there, okay, yeah. There is a warm emission of red, oranges, yellows. Now it's going in that direction, and the direction that the orb is leaving from has cool colors. So down the bottom of the orb, you'll see cool colors like blues, gray,
Interesting.
green. Yes. So I know that this orb is hovering towards the warm emission. And it's like rockets. When a rocket starts, it has emission behind it, different colors. Now, this is the head that I got. It's, again, it's a female with what looks like some sort of a crown on top.
Yeah, it does.
The body is covered in this white cloudy substance, right? No body can be seen. Next photo. And in this photo, you can see the external around the head. That's the orb capsule protecting these hologram images. And I've added different color contrasts so that you could see the images there, irrelevant of what color you use, different color contrasts. So if I took a picture of you and used different color contrasts, you might have a sort of a greenish face, a reddish face, an orange face, but it's still you. All right, next one.
Oh.
And again, I put a warm, like a red color contrast and a blue color contrast. And you can see here how distinct that external orb capsule wall is and how it's protecting what is inside. Next one. Oh, no, yes. Well, this is, again, I painted it just to show people. My painting on the left, the real MFT of the sentient female on the right.
So this is going to be like a spirit orb, right? Compared to an alien orb.
No, this is definitely a alien orb. If you see from the how thick that external thing is, as I've said in the book, it's very hard to explain in just a few minutes. I just want to show pictures today.
Okay.
But the alien extraterrestrial orbs are the wow factors. They're the brights, the whites, the blues, the silveries, and they have the big external membrane around them. They're the alien extraterrestrial, as is this.
So there's the edge of it. So they'll all have that edge on the.
Yes, these are because they have to be protected because they have a longer way to go. Whereas the spiritual ones, it's not very clear the edge of the orb.
Okay.
They don't really need, I believe that they don't really need that much protection because they don't have that far to travel.
Okay, I understand.
All right, yes.
Next one.
Next one, please. Excuse me.
No problem.
Now this one was captured by a friend of mine, Cynthia Ray from USA.
Yeah.
Now she captured this orb in her house, in the hallway of her house. And I have often said, now this orb looks like it's got a piece missing from it.
Okay.
And I have said that these darker patches, which I called stigma, darker stigmas, it's like a window. It's like a porthole that opens up. And every time I go into an orb that has a dark stigma, I know that it's like a airplane porthole.
Yeah.
Where you open up and you'll see heads looking out.
Okay.
So these are the heads. Now there are two heads in this, but I just concentrated on the front. Okay. If I concentrated on the head behind, there would be another head. So there's really basically two heads there.
Yeah.
Our next one. All right, this is a wow. This is a zoom image of that orb where you can actually see there is this it's like a substance there. There's no piece missing. It's opened up. There is substance there. And this is, you can see it has a thick outer membrane. It's bright, it's luminous. And the bodies, you cannot see bodies. They're covered in this white, and the head. Next one. Again, I've added, as I was doing my research, this substance that opened up like a window, was actually watching the person taking this photo as it was moving.
Wow.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Next one.
Fascinating.
Again, now I'm adding a lot of these photos so that people can get accustomed to them, because you show them one photo,
yeah.
It's very hard for them to try and wrap their minds around it.
Yeah.
So I actually put the image of the orb, how it was traveling. So this is how it was traveling in the hallway, watching the photographer or the person taking this photo. All right, next photo.
Wow.
So here's my painting, my artwork on the left,
yeah.
and the real MFT sentient image on the right. Next. Now this one was from Germany by Engel de Gestwelt. Now, again, there's a dark stigma in this orb, where I've got it's in the yellow box. And I knew, because scientists like to predict their results, test results, and whatever they do, they like to have predictions of what they will get. So I predicted that this is a dark stigma, and there will be a head looking out, because it's like a porthole that opened up. And this is the head that I got in that. I've got the yellow arrow. Again, it's a smiling female face that's looking through the open porthole of the orb. Again, no body, because it's covered in this white. Next photo. And this is the my painting on the left, and the real MFT image of the sentient female smiling. Next photo. I just didn't know what photos to put. I've got thousands and thousands.
That's why people need to get the book. You have so many photos in the book. It's just unbelievable.
I have hundreds of thousands of images that I have. Anyway, this is another orb that I captured. Now this is in, again, it's in slow, it's in motion mode, because it's not perfectly round. And if you could see down the bottom of this thick chamber wall, it's warm. It's like warm colored. So it's moving in that direction, and behind the direction it's leading through, if you notice, it's got cool colors, blues and things like that, if you could see them. No, yes. Anyway, so here's the head. It's a cosmic being. Now this particular, you often see a lot of sentient beings, the heads, leaning on the cell of the orb wall as they look out. And this is sort of like leaning, it's leaning against this thick outer chamber wall. Next one. Here's a bigger view of it. How it's leaning and looking out. Again, no body. It's covered in this white cloudy substance. And this looks like, well, it looks like a male. And it does like have a bit of a smile on it. That was the clearest I could get. Next one.
Very impressive.
Okay, so this male sentient head was resting or leaning against this thick external wall. Now we'll see another head that's leaning on the wall. Next one. Yes, that's where your arrow is. Now, I captured this orb. As you can see, I caught this in India, and there were many, many high-rise buildings. You can see the lights from the windows of the high-rise buildings. And I captured this perfectly round orb. Again, it's in slight moving mode. Slight moving mode. There is the red.
Yeah, the red color.
So it's hovering a little bit towards that direction, and down the bottom, it's the blue emissions, the cool color emissions.
Yeah.
So I did my MFT method, and we will see another female leaning on the wall. Next one. And of course, this is a transcendent module 1. So this is an alien extraterrestrial, one of these races, one of the many races that are in different star systems around us. And there's a lot of races and species that are protectors of Earth. They are coming here, and they are trying to protect us. There are, of course, malevolent races, but I'm talking about these, they're beautiful light energies. Now, I went into it, and there is a light-colored, a sort of a blondish female sentient, and she's leaning on the wall, on the orb wall. Next one. I'm trying to go fast.
No, this is interesting.
Okay, now there's a female sentient head there. She looks very, well, to me, she's beautiful. She's got this light colored hair, and she's leaning and she's looking out. Probably knew that I was down there taking a photo and just looking out. Next one. Okay, so I took in the top and bottom on the left, I took out a bit of the color. And you can see that whether I add color, whether I take color away, whether I make it blue or yellow or pink or red, the images are there. Yep. Right, and you can still see the female leaning against a beautiful blonde sentient being. Next, and here's again, I've added a few so people can actually see a couple of them of the same sentient, so that they can start to get familiar with them. So this is this beautiful sentient. Next one. Oh no, oh, you went back. Okay, no. I want 30, slide 34. That's the one previous to this one. So this is how it was traveling. No, that's 33. The next one, 34, this one. So I've got an arrow where the raw image of the orb was. And this is how, if you could picture how it was moving in our atmosphere, was this beautiful blonde female sentient leaning on the wall. And you can actually see right around it, you could see the capsule that is protecting the information inside. Right around it, there's a distinct wall, and even on the other side, that's it, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking out. All right, next one. Now this one was sent by Anne Steve Madge from UK. She captured this at a venue, and you can see how bright it is. Again, it has this distinct wall. But this is a bit different. It's not so much as a big head. These are lots of smaller heads that are in a row. Again, they're inside this, this capsule. And I've actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 heads that are in a row, but we'll see them better in the next slide.
It's almost like they've come to the party.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, again, you can see the distinct outer chamber wall. They're protected. You cannot see the bodies because they're hidden beneath this white cloudy substance. And to the right, you can start see the heads as I zoomed into them a bit more. And there is one particular, we'll go into the next one particular head in the middle. Yeah. No, in the big photo down the bottom, yeah, where I've got sentient heads. In the middle, there is one particular, this one here. It's like an elongated type of headgear that he's got on. Yeah, yeah. And you find that, yes, you find that you'll see helmets, you'll see clothes, or all these unusual things that they wear. So the head in the middle is wearing an elongated headgear. Again, bodies can't be seen, and you can see the depth because orbs are like onions. Every layer you take off, there's another layer underneath and another layer underneath, and so on. And on top of these heads, where you could see, I've written sentient heads, right behind, you could see the depth. So if I concentrated on the that darker blue depth, you'll see other heads and other heads. Okay, next one. And here's just another closer image of the male sentient with the long hat in the middle. All right, now we'll get to something a little bit more personal here.
People often describe this thing with the pieces chopped out of it. So you're saying those are like portals?
Sorry?
People sometimes describe, they'll show these with the pieces taken out of them, like there's a little bite. You're saying those are like windows?
Yeah, I call them dark stigmas.
Okay.
So what it is, some scientists said that these are like damaged orbs. I won't mention names. Yeah, yeah. That they're a damaged orb or pieces are missing from them. No, these are dark stigmas. It's like a window that's opened up and heads will be coming through. Okay. And this Desta took this photo and you posted it on. Yeah. So this is what you had sent on Facebook. Yep. And I had a look at some of the things, and I picked this particular orb where the blue arrow is. Okay. And you could start see a sort of a male sentient blue head with some sort of a helmet. Yeah. Next one. Okay. And again, you could see the thick, right around, it's a thick outer membrane. Yep. There's a lot of dark stigmas in here, which means that there are a lot of heads looking out in this orb. And next one. Now, in this orb that Desta captured, yep, these are just some of the heads. Now, they're not very clear here in this section because the photo of the orb that I had, that Desta had put on, yep, Facebook, blurry on itself. So I couldn't get more definition. But if it was a clearer a higher definition photo of the orb, I would have gotten clearer photos. And you can actually see the very, very last photo down the bottom. Yeah, of the head coming through.
If that's
that
the
looks
word
like
to send
a helmet.
you the actual photo, you'd get better resolution on it.
Yes, and the bigger the image file, the better. So that when I zoom into it, it won't be as blurry.
Wow.
Anyway, next one. Okay, now, in 2001, Sergeant Clifford Stone at a national press conference stated that 57 species of extraterrestrial races had already been catalogued by governments in 1998. Oh, sorry, 1989. And, and he actually said that governments have, like we have the Arcturians, we've got the Palladians, we've got all the different greys and the Rettas, Reticulans. These are all different types of alien races. So in 1989, 57 of them were officially catalogued.
Yeah.
And I believe that what I'm visually capturing, as you can see down the bottom, using my MFT method, are some of these species of extraterrestrial races. So I'm capturing these aliens in real time.
Beautiful.
These are real images.
Beautiful.
Yeah, okay. Next one. Next. We're nearly coming to the end. So these are just some of my images, and I believe that I have the largest collection in the world showing cosmic beings, authentic, real cosmic beings from other dimensions and life beyond our reality that can be seen in real time through my MFT method. And here is just a small example of what can be seen inside the orb phenomena.
Wow. And very impressive.
Yeah, and because we know that the orb phenomena is casting a new light on spiritual and scientific questions of whether other realities, other dimensions can coexist beyond our material world. And yes, they can. So next one. All right. Now, these are the ones that I added when you asked me to do something on the beams and etc.
Yep.
So I added these. This here is by Marat Sandoval this is in Mexico.
Yep.
And there is a special meditation place. It's the Focotonal in Aguascalientes city of Mexico, where people gather around in this white shrine, a white brick shrine. They meditate, and the pictures that they capture are just amazing, because there are portals and vortices that exist abundantly around the world. And when people come to the Focotonal to meditate, these are some of the images that come. And one very specific thing is, if you could see where they're standing on a cut or a bark tree in the middle.
Yep.
Where it's, if you could see, if you could put the arrow on it. Down the bottom where her feet are. This, they stand on that and they meditate. And this is when they get these beams coming down, and you can see it better on down the bottom, the very last slide, where he's standing on this center spot, and the beams come through. So this is a vortex area of beautiful light coming through, and they do meditation and channeling at the foco to null. Now, next photo.
Can you describe for me, before we go on, can you describe your definition of like a vortex versus a portal? How would you describe these two things?
They're basically the same. Whether we call them vortices, portals, I mean, I couldn't really answer that because I'm not an expert on that.
Okay.
A portal could be something big. It could be something small that these beings you come through. A vortex is basically the same, probably in a different shape, or it has a different mission or a different function.
So that's how they're coming into our environment, is through these portals or whatever?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Yeah, because
yes.
Teresa talks, I think we got some of Teresa's photographs here from Arizona. She talks about the vortex that opened in whatever it was, 2013 or whatever. And she probably has some of the best photographs in the world, I think, that we'll see here.
Yes, she does. Now, I just added this because this is also, there's just a few photos from what's in my book. Now, they may come to protect us, and these celestial structures can sometimes intervene to change the outcome of a situation.
Okay.
And I call it divine intervention. Now, this particular beam of light, this was photo credit goes to JD Lanning from the USA. And her own quote was, "I would like to share one of my favorite pics. My daughter, who was 16 at the time, took this pic of her boyfriend. They were night hiking here in Colorado Springs. He was standing on a cliff and outstretched his arms. As my daughter was snapping the photo, he said, 'I hope I don't fall.'" So this was the resulting photo, and she said she saw the light shoot out. So there's only one explanation for this. They sense that this young gentleman here, probably no more than 16, could have been drunk, could have been like, young kids go out and party.
Yeah.
And he's standing on the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
And they probably sensed there was danger. It wasn't his time to go, but he was in danger. And it just shot out and intervened and changed the outcome of the situation.
Fascinating.
But they could not see this with their naked eyes. The camera caught it. The technology caught it. And I'm sure that this happens a lot to us.
Yeah.
I believe that there is divine intervention all the time. Next one. Excuse me, can I just give me 1 second? One second.
Yep.
Clint, take it out, Oh, sorry, Grant. I thought it was my mother and she filled her. I'm taking care of her 94-year-old mother.
Okay.
And she's into dementia now. And
Yeah.
I thought she might have tripped.
Okay.
So now we're going to photos by Kathy Finch in the UK. Now, Kathy is she does healing. She does meditation. She's an Ascension Reiki and a pranic healer. And she captures this type of orbs. She captures the perfectly round translucent orbs when she does a lot of her healing. And after seeing hundreds and thousands of orbs, I now know that I come to believe that these see-through round are the healing orbs. So wherever she uses her energy, and these are things that people can't see with their naked eyes. Yeah. It's technology that's capturing them. wherever she's doing her healing, these healing orbs come. Next one. And again, this is Kathy Finch. And they strategically position themselves in healing sessions. So they are helping. And you can see they're translucent, they're perfectly round, they've stopped to do what they do.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's their mission. Next one. Next one. All right, now this was from my book as well. Now orbs can sometimes come to comfort and guide us for our spiritual transition. And this photo, this is a real photo of Lama Serpo, was a renowned Joskin yogi from Bhutan. He was a great practitioner and a scholar. Now, in his final hours, this photo was taken in his final hours here on Earth. This honorable yogi was being visited by a semi-translucent orb around his head. Perhaps it was comforting him, it was preparing him for the next phase of his spiritual journey. So as we can see, this orb is perfectly round. So what does it mean? It means it stopped. Where is it strategically positioned? On his head, giving him subconscious thoughts in his final hours. So he passed away peacefully a few hours later at the age of 97.
Fascinating.
But you could see that this orb on his head had a mission. It's see-through, it's perfectly round. Now, let's compare it to the next slide. All right, so I've added Kathy Finch from UK with the orb here on the last hours of this. Now, here are two very similar orbs. The only difference is one has stopped its motion, which is on Lama Serpo's head, and the other one is it's moving. It hasn't moved. It hasn't. It's not motionless. So I believe that these similar type orbs, as I said, one's motionless and the other one's moving. Perhaps their mission is to calm and soothe the soul, to heal, to harmonize, regenerate, or reconcile the psyche. But as I said, we wouldn't be able to see them without technology today.
Yeah.
Next one. Now, again, you asked me about, as I said previously, about the healing orbs. Now, this is from a photo by Brahman Gnani from India. And he does meditations, universe enlightenment and divinity. He does healing sessions of the divine and spiritual energy. And like 8 out of 10 orbs that he captures while he's in a trance are this perfectly round, translucent, see-through orbs. Now, you can see strategically positioned on his head, giving him perhaps energy, subconscious thoughts, emotions. And I went into this orb because there is a dark stigma in this orb, as you can see in the Zoom image.
Yep, yep.
And this is just one of the many sentient heads that are inside.
That's pretty clear.
And you can, yeah. This is just one of the many. One of the many. This is just not, again, the white cloudy substance. Can we go to the next one? Again, this is Brahman Gnani. Here is another orb, see-through, but this is textured. It's on his head. he's in a trance. He's doing his meditation. And when I did my MFT method on this, you can see, again, heads in a row up the top. And there is one very distinct of what looks like a profile of a female, yes. And it's very distinct that there is, like she's wearing some sort of an earring. It's, can you see?
Yeah.
That's the profile. Here,
Right.
here. No, next to it, no, where her head is, that's her nose, her mouth.
On this side or this side here?
No, here. Can you see the profile of the female?
This female here, right?
Yes. Now have a look at the top one, the middle one, the middle photo up the top. Can you see the profile of the?
Oh yeah.
That is another head.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
there's never just one. No, they are in a row. Eventually we will get, with my MFT method, the images will become sharper and clearer, but they're only as clear as the actual
Size of the photo.
raw image of the orb. Yes.
Well, I'll have to make sure.
If it was a high definition, I'd be able to. All right, next one.
Make sure we take the high def photos. And these are with cell cameras or with point and shoot, or what kind of cameras are they usually captured with?
Well, they captured them. They send them to me from all around the world with any type, like digital cameras. Like,
Okay.
if an orb wants to appear, it will appear. Now, this is one of my favorite. This is Dumitran Claudio. He's from Romania, Bucharest.
Yeah.
And this is the guy which I've only just started to study. This, I only discovered him after I published my book. Otherwise, he would have been in my book. But I am doing in the next 2 weeks, I think, we're doing a talk together.
Wow.
Even though his English is not very good. So Dumitran's English is, well, not good. I don't know how we're going to do it. We might have to have an interpreter. But this guy just intrigues me so much. He captures images that I have never seen anybody else able to capture images the way he can, the way he connects with them. And even the bottom two, they're in broad daylight, the bottom two photos. Now, this is a man that he just goes out, whether it's in his house, whether it's out in the park, whether it's on the street. And these, I believe, are real images. And he even captures them in video. And videos is like, in a still photo, it's easy to Photoshop. And I don't believe these are Photoshopped. I do not, because I have actually analyzed some of these orbs, and they are not Photoshopped. Yeah. But he captures a few on video, and you can't really Photoshop it on video that much. And I've done quite a few, and I've analyzed a lot. Like, I'll show you the next photo that I have analyzed.
Why is he getting this kind of stuff? Is he like some sort of meditation guy? Or?
I believe if ever there is such a thing as a star child that has from a star system, there's a connection. Although he actually states that he is from Arcturian origins, not oranges, Arcturian origins. And you know, he does have some sort of connection, because the images, the portals, the the unusual formations that he captures, I'm just in awe. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
So
I
within the next 2 weeks, so within the next 2 weeks, before we talk with Dumitran, I'm going to study more of his orbs so we can have a vast variety of what is. Now, what can be seen inside his images. Now this one here, he's walking through the park, and I've noticed a lot that he walks barefoot a lot in a lot of his photos. He is barefoot, so maybe there is a connection to he wants to ground himself to earth.
Okay.
And I have to ask him. So maybe that there is a closer to earth connection. I don't know. I will find out in 2 weeks' time. And he captured on the left here, there is a portal under the tree. He actually walks inside the portals.
Yeah.
He puts his hand through them.
Yeah, I've seen that. He's an
And I've
amazing
never
guy.
seen this anywhere else in the world. Yes, yes. And he's a very humble guy. This is the photo that he sent me, and I decided to analyze it. Now, using my MFT method, the head that you can see, like a blurry head in the left photo, this is the one that one there. It's not just one head. When I did my MFT method, there are 3 heads. There is a head on either side of the main center head. Now we'll have a look at the in the next slide.
Have you got the high def photos from him, or are these off Facebook?
These are the ones that he sent me.
Okay.
So and it's yeah. So here is the zoom image of what he sent me from the big photo. Now I did my MFT method, and there are definitely 3 heads. Yeah. One is the main one in the middle, and there on either side there are 2 formations. Again, their bodies are covered in this white, misty, cloudy thing. And there are 2 heads, and this is as clear as I could get it. But if you look closely, you could see the 2. There's a head coming through down the bottom. Yep. There's a bluish tint. And then on the other side of his face, there is like an orangey, but there are definitely 3 sentient there. Let's go to the next one. And here is just a bigger thing. Now, this is the raw image, which I zoomed into it, and this is my MFT method images, where there's no argument that there are another 2 heads, one on either side, and then they're covered by the white. Next one. Okay, this is the last slide. So I just want to say that cosmic beings are coming to us from beyond this reality, from beyond reality.
Do they have a particular message for us, or do they just want us to understand that they exist?
I think that they're trying to communicate with us, especially when they're around our heads. As I say in the book, you know, they love to be around the areas of their heads, like they're sending subconscious messages. So the orb phenomenon, just to make a quick conclusion now, I'm just concluding, is opening up 2 pioneering doorways for the study of alien and spiritual realms. Right. And for 10 years, I have diligently researched the orb phenomena, and I do take great pride in my work because I take my work very seriously. And our universe is overflowing with many invisible life forces we can't see, but we need technologies. Like you can't see the microorganisms, but we do have microscopes to see the microorganisms. Yeah. And the universe is an open system of many portals vortexes, vortices,
Yeah.
black holes, whatever you want to call them, for advanced beings to traverse and come to us, because they know we can't go to them. So they are coming to us. So whether we call them interdimensional beings, I'm starting to stutter now. Whether we call them extraterrestrial beings, spiritual beings, angelic beings, celestial beings, whatever we call them, they are here, they can see us, and they can hear us. And they can consciously feel our thoughts. So, as we said before, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. You change things by building a new model. And this is my new model. This is my pioneering work, Grant.
You've done a fantastic job. I'm honored and very impressed to be talking to you. Absolutely stunning job.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Grant.
Yes, and so let's go through the future. So your book is on Amazon, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you're doing some lecture material online, like you mentioned this one 2 weeks from now. I'd like to see that with this Romanian guy, because I have followed him as well. I mean, his stuff is,
Yes.
you've only shown a couple of his photos. He's got some unbelievable stuff.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And you know, if I could get on the plane now,
Yeah,
and go to Romania, I would. So we could go out and I could be part, I can see firsthand what, how, why these images are appearing, and even in his house. And you'll get images like pinks and silvers and whites and vortexes and beings and sunlight and orbs playing with his hands. So maybe he is a true starseed,
yeah,
in the form of a human. I don't know.
yeah. I don't think there's any photographs that match his stuff in terms of portals and stuff. And it would be
Not
very
to the, I have not as yet
yeah.
seen anyone else in the world with pictures like he captures.
Well, I'm glad you're going to do some research with them, because you've got the techniques and the ability to do it. I will actually send you, I'll give you a link to my photos. I have probably a collection of maybe 20,000 photos from various people that you can sort of have for your reference if you find something there that's interesting. And I will definitely tell people to make sure they get high def photos, and because I didn't know that.
And the large file. I need the large files.
Yeah.
You know, some people send me little,
Yeah.
they've minimized, made it into a medium or a small file. I can't zoom into it because it's just so blurred.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, my pictures can only be, with my MFT method, as good as the actual original photo is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get crystal clear if something is blurry. It doesn't happen that way.
So what we'll do is we will, we've got this taped and we will present it live. I will give you a date probably next week. We'll put it about the same time. So it's about 8 o'clock Eastern United States time, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And we'll go online, you and I. And what I'll do is I'll invite all my Orb people along. So I've got all these people whose collections I have. I'll bring them on. We'll get on the chat as the video is being shown as we're doing the interview. And you can take questions, and maybe even when it's over, you can answer questions from some of these people who have got collections of Orb photographs that they sent to me. How does that sound?
Okay, Grant.
Beautiful.
It's been really nice talking to you. It's like five months of waiting, but yeah, we did it.
Yeah, as I said, I'm honored because I've done a lot of the photo, the Orb panels, and of course you get a lot of backlash from it. And I'm glad we actually now have sort of an expert like you who can actually take the photographs and do the analysis on them, because to me they're just photographs. They're very interesting photographs, but that's what you need, is somebody to have a technique where we can start to develop it. And I'm sure that all the people that I deal with and it's quite a few, we'll provide you, and we'll build a new model that will help other people who have Orb photographs to realize that they're not alone, that there is actual analysis being done. And so I think you're doing a wonderful job in terms of leading the parade here.
I just want to say before we finish that my next step now is to get, I just want like 3, 4, just a panel of scientists so I can show them. I just need 1 hour, Grant. I just need 1 hour of their time so I can show them how I do it. And then, as I've said before, I'll take them out. We can go out, we can go orb hunting. Each one has a camera, and we'll try and capture orbs, go back inside, and I'll say to them, okay, I've showed you my MFT method, sit down and do it now. And they will get the results that I'm getting. And then once that's done and it's been tried, tested, acknowledged, then we can take it to the next step for the better of humanity. Because this is pioneering research. It's new, and it's opening up doorways into the cosmos. Yeah.
It's very important new research. So I will help you wherever I can with it. You're on Facebook, correct? You post like once a week?
Yes, yes. I only have Facebook. Well, I only have one face page. That's my personal Merlina Marcan page. Yeah. And I try as much as I can. If people scroll down, they'll see a lot of my work, a lot of my, and people that have followed me and my Facebook friends and everybody that follow my work, they know by just looking at a photo, they understand after all these years of following me, what my work is about.
Fantastic. Okay, we'll leave it at that, and I'll be in touch with you as to when we're going to do the presentation. And I'm sure you'll have some photos that I have that you might be interested in doing analysis. And you do provide a lot of support to people, because people are sort of out there. The people I'm dealing with, they've got collections of thousands of photos. They don't know where to go with them either. And now they've got somebody who's that they can look up to and get support, and to back up the fact that they're actually filming something that is very valuable for the world to know.
I agree. This is opening new horizons for us.
Thanks. And let me know when you're going to do the presentation with in a couple of weeks, and I'd like to see that presentation, and maybe we can even get him online to America, and I can get a Romanian interpreter, and we can maybe do something, because he's got some stuff that's just like mind-blowing, and I would even like to go myself to see his stuff in Romania.
Yeah, even in his house, if we're off here now, correct? Are we off air?
we haven't stopped the tape yet. What's going to happen is once we stop and you shut, the tape will produce for you. You'll see it start to produce. You have to leave it.
So even in his house, I've seen pictures, like he just doesn't even sit in a chair. He grounds himself, like he sits on the ground. Yeah. And he gets these amazing images, and it's just mind-boggling. It is. Explodes,
Your stuff is mind-boggling too.
Well, what I capture, because everybody captures certain types. He captures these. As I said, I believe he's a star child, a starseed child. But what I capture, 9 out of 10 photos when I go out, doesn't matter what camera I have, I would capture the perfectly round, not so many translucent, because I don't do healing. Yeah. So I don't get the healing orbs. Okay. But I get the opaque. I get the ones that are totally round, completely round. They have the wall around them. Yeah. And every now and then I get spiritual ones that don't have the wall around them, but they're all perfectly round. And I've actually said this in I think I've said it in the book, and I've shown some things, and I've actually gone on Facebook, and I've said that this is what I capture. You might capture something else.
Yeah.
It's what they're connected with. It's the inner vibrational, and I believe that because they know that I want to go in them, what I capture are perfectly round. They just sit there smiling at me, and they're perfectly posed. Yes.
And you're putting them into categories, which is what you need to do. You need to sort of catalog them, that they're not all the same thing, which you've pointed out already.
And you know what my next step is? I just don't have the time. My mother is so time consuming.
Yeah, I understand.
It's 24/7.
Yeah.
And even now, I had to have a friend downstairs with her.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave her alone.
Yeah.
And what I want to say is that my next step, what I want to do when I have time, is get similar orbs and see if I get similar clothing, similar helmets.
Okay.
As I say in the book, if you have a look when I say the aeroplanes in the book, there's a section where I've got Qantas aeroplanes and Singapore airplanes. When we see an aeroplane and we see a Pan Am logo, we know it's from America. Or we see a Qantas with the kangaroo tail. No one has to tell us. We just know. It's from the area of the earth.
Exactly.
So I believe that orbs are coming from different areas of the cosmos. Yeah. Different areas. So there must be a certain type of orb. It might change a bit, but like basically that comes from that particular part of the cosmos. And another type of orb that's a bit different comes from that type. So maybe in the future, by just looking at an orb, we might say, oh, that's from that part of the star galaxy or the system or the cosmos or something. And what I want to do is go through my files one of these days when I can and get similar orbs and see what type of beings, what type of helmets are they wearing, what type of, because Dumatran, the Romanian guy, I have done quite a few orbs of his and portals and plasma mists, that there's a lot of blue helmets.
Okay. Wow.
There is quite a few sentient heads with blue helmets. Yeah. So maybe it's his connection to that part of the cosmos.
That's right. You mentioned just now the mist, which is another thing I noticed. You get the orbs, you get the beams, and then you get the mist. How do you interpret the mist? What is going on there?
I have done quite a few of ectoplasm and plasmoid mists. I've actually gone inside them. Now, I believe from what I've captured that mists and plasmoid ectoplasm is not from the extraterrestrials. I believe they're the spiritual.
Okay.
I believe these are the spiritual entities coming to Earth. I do not believe something in my heart, my soul, this feeling that I get, the tingle as I write in the book. It doesn't seem right that a plasmoid or an ectoplasm is extraterrestrial. You get the things with the bright, they're the extraterrestrials. Now the plasmoids and the mists, I believe they're the spiritual realms coming through. And I've actually done a few, which I'll actually send you some to have a look. They are human heads. Wow. And they wear a lot of the, like you might get a hat or a beard or something of that person. Wow. Probably in a previous life or in his past life or when he was or she was on Earth. So I believe these ectoplasm mists that you see, these are spirit beings coming through. Beautiful. Not extraterrestrial. Something just inside of me can't accept that these are extra. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, one last question. I forgot to spell it. So you need the high def. So do you have an email that people would contact you at if they wanted to send you photographs rather than going through Facebook, or do you want them to contact you on Facebook first?
If they become my friends, see, I get bombarded with so many people every day. I get friend requests, I get people sending me photos, which I don't even look at often, you know, and also I'm sort of scared to open it in case it's a spam or something.
I see.
You know,
I understand. I
they
understand.
send me. I do have an Orb Truth group.
Oh, you do? Okay. Give me the, how do they find that?
I'll actually, what I'll do is, I'll send you an invite,
Okay.
and you can join my Orb Truth group.
Okay. We'll
And
do
when
that.
people send in to the Orb Truth group, just accept it. I'll send you an invite,
Okay.
and you'll see. And this is where you'll see a lot of people. I have a lot of followers and friends that they're regulars on my Orb Truth group.
Okay.
When they ask for it to come to the light, and you get these moving orbs coming to the camera, coming to them.
Yeah.
And if I see a picture that people send in photos, and I see something that I think is good enough, big enough for me to do like high definition or something, I'll do it.
Okay.
And
Okay,
a lot
that's
of
what
my
we'll do.
work is from my.
That'll
So
be
I'll
the way
send
we
you
have
an
people
invite,
contact.
and you
Good.
can.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. I'm honored and just wonderful that you were able to talk to me, and you've given me some inspiration. I did the orbs a couple of times, and you've filled in a lot of gaps for me, and I'm going to be very attentive to what you're doing.
And even though my book took something like, I think, 4.5 months to get to you.
Yes, I appreciate your sending it to me, and I was going to show it to Desta, but she's down in the United States, but I'm sure she'll be absolutely fascinated and kind of upset that she missed the interview.
I wanted you to have a look at the book first before we spoke.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have a look at the book, it's hard to actually understand. But anyway, 5 months later, here we are.
Beautiful. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening, and take good care of your mother.
And you have sweet dreams, because I think it's midnight there now. Midnight in Canada.
10 o'clock.